Welcome to the Clique podcast. I'm Danny Watson, a mindset and manifestation expert and founder of the Clique, a company that helps women overcome their fears and limiting beliefs to create a life and business that they love. Within this podcast, I will help you get clear on what you want, identify the blocks that are holding you back, transform your mindset and raise your vibration so that you can co-create magic with the universe. If you are looking to design a life that truly sets your soul on fire and manifest more success and abundance, then you are in the right place. Hello, ladies, and welcome to the next episode of the podcast, which for those of you who listened to last week's podcast, I'm going to be following on from that. So if you haven't checked out last week's podcast, I suggest that you start there because I am diving into how you can manifest your best life in 2023. And in the last episode, I went through the process of getting clarity and gave you a rather quick but simple and effective exercise to help you get the crystal clear vision for your life for the end of next year. Okay, so it's all about starting where you want to be at the end of next year, and then we're going to reverse engineer that process. Okay, so if you have listened to that episode and you've got the clarity that you want for your life for the next year ahead, I want to take you through the next part of the process for actually manifesting that desired end goal. And this really is a big part of the work that we do to manifest anything in our lives, and that is to really pick out the beliefs that do not serve us, that are not aligned with that vision, and figuring out, okay, well, how do I embody the version of myself who believes wholeheartedly that what I want is available to me? Okay, how do I really transform those negative beliefs that aren't serving me when I think about the vision that I have for my life? Okay, so belief work is a huge part of the work that I do with my personal clients. It's also a big part of the work we do in the coaches we train inside the Clique Academy, because everything comes back to your beliefs. You know, what you believe about yourself and about the world around you dictates what is able to show up in your life. So everything that we've been taught from an early age, you know, some of the things that we perhaps don't even realize we believe are controlling, you know, what we are experiencing. They're dictating how our life is unfolding. So if we think to the end of 2023, December 2023, and all of the wonderful things you want to be experiencing, the things you want to have, who you want to be, the successes that you've witnessed, the opportunities, the income goals, everything that you want to experience at the end of 2023, if we start to reverse engineer that process, we need to be the sort of person who believes certain things. Okay, it's really important. So if we want to have a certain outcome at the end of 2023, the next step, the sort of the reverse engineered process of that is being a certain person by believing a certain set of beliefs. Okay, what do you need to believe in order to have all of those things? Okay, so this is really, as I said, it's about first weeding out what is going on below the surface for you. What is it that, you know, you believe deep down that is stopping you right now from getting to where you want to be? And what do you need to believe in order to get there? Okay, now, maybe you already have a lot of awareness about, you know, some of the beliefs that are going on for you. Okay, so we call this our conscious mind. You know, that internal chitter-chatter that you can perhaps sort of hear yourself saying on a daily basis. I'm not good at this, or it's hard to get rich, or it's greedy to be driven by money, or it's going to take me a really, really long time to have a successful business, or, you know, I'm not worthy of receiving amazing things. What are the things that you can actually hear yourself saying? Because this is where you want to ideally start with the belief work. Now, belief work is largely going to come to your subconscious beliefs. So I've made this analogy before where you want to think of your beliefs in your mind as an iceberg. The tip of the iceberg, the part that we can see above the water, is your conscious mind. Okay, so this is all of the things that you are aware of, the part of the iceberg you can see. However, the biggest part of the iceberg is below the water. This is your subconscious mind, the part that you're not necessarily able to see. You could be completely oblivious to the fact that it is even there. There's a set of beliefs going on below the surface that you are not even consciously aware of. So where we want to start is the tip of the iceberg and start to really reframe some of the things that we are aware of. But the real work is going to come into play when we start to dig a little bit deeper. And I'll talk a little bit about what that means in a second. So for this exercise, remember these episodes that I'm doing and I'm delivering in the run-up between now and the end of this year are going to be slightly shorter, because what I would like you to do, rather than sit listening to me waffle on for half an hour, is I would like you to actually spend that additional time to go and actually do these exercises. Okay, and this is really where the key is actually implementing and integrating the things that you learn, putting them into practice. Often we're very good at consuming. We get in consumption mode where we like to absorb all the information and all of the knowledge. And that's great. It's great to be, a lifelong learner, but it means nothing if you're not actually going to integrate it and do it consistently. Okay, follow through on the information that you learn. And so that's what I really want you to do. So I'm going to give you a few actionable things for you to go away and do after this episode. And I'd love to get your feedback on, how you found doing these exercises. So the first one is identifying your conscious mind, okay? The conscious beliefs that you're aware of that aren't serving you. And I basically want you to brain dump everything onto a page, okay? So I basically want you to just write down everything that's coming up for you, every type of negative belief. And we want to think about coming back to this sort of goal we've got for ourselves for 2023, thinking about that desired end destination. What are the beliefs that you're currently aware of that are going to stop you, hold you back from reaching that goal? What are the beliefs that you have that are out of alignment with that goal? So let's say one of your goals is, okay, I would like to hit a certain income milestone, let's say within my business. I want to hit my first 10K month within my business. What do you believe at the moment that is going to hold you back from that goal? Maybe you believe that hitting that type of income goal is going to take years and years and years. It can't be done in a year. It's going to require lots of sacrifice. It's going to require lots of time that you perhaps don't have. Maybe you're thinking, well, nobody's going to pay me because I don't have anything valuable to offer. So think about all of the things that you hear yourself saying on a daily basis, and I want you to just brain dump all of those things down. Okay, so that is exercise number 1. Okay, now to follow on from this, I want you to then look at all of these beliefs. Once you've got a brain dump of all of those conscious beliefs, I want you to have a little look and start working through each belief individually. And I want you to just ask yourself the very simple question of, do I really believe this? And if I do really, really believe it, why do I believe it? And if I don't believe it, why don't I believe it? I want you to start to actually just challenge those beliefs. That's what we're doing here. We're just kind of taking a step back and looking at our entire belief system, our entire conscious belief system, and we're starting to question it. Because here's the thing about beliefs. Often when we kind of are hearing ourselves say the same things over and over again, we start to hold up this story as the truth, the ultimate truth for our lives. But beliefs are just beliefs. They're not facts. They're not set in stone. Beliefs can be changed. Your beliefs won't be the same as somebody else's. They are not holy truths, okay? Beliefs are just beliefs. They can be changed. Yet often we put our beliefs up on a pedestal. Oh, this must be true because my mind is telling it me, day in, day out. So I just want you to just take a moment to really challenge your beliefs by, looking back on them. Do I really believe this? If not, why don't I believe this? If I do believe this, why do I believe it? And those reasons that you're giving, if you're saying, yes, I do believe this, and then you give yourself all of these reasons why you believe something, I want you to challenge those reasons as well. So, for example, let's say, I don't believe that I can be successful. Maybe that's something that you realize that you believe, and you challenge that belief. Do I believe it? And maybe you say to yourself, yeah, I do. I don't believe that I can be successful. And you ask yourself why. Well, why don't I believe that? And then maybe you tell yourself, well, I don't believe I can be successful because I'm not smart. I'm not smart enough to be successful. Do you believe that? So we're basically trying to sort of really break down our entire belief system until you get to a point where you say, you know what, I don't actually believe that. Because what happens, you want to think of your belief system as like a block of Jenga pieces, okay? And we get to sort of the bottom belief and we pull that out. We pull out the bottom belief, and all of the other pieces, all of the other beliefs that are stacked on top also come crumbling down, okay? So if we can get to a point in our belief system where we start to say, actually, you know what, I don't actually believe that anymore. It means every other belief that is stacked on top of that is something that doesn't really have any value anymore, because the core root belief, the bottom belief, no longer makes sense. You no longer believe that. You realize that you don't actually believe that. So let's just do an example with this. Let's say, going back to the example of, I don't believe I can be successful. Why don't you believe that? Do you really believe that? Yes, I do. Why do you believe that? Well, I don't believe that I am smart enough to be successful. Do you really believe that? Why do you believe that? Well, I believe that because, maybe I've got lots of examples where, I felt like I wasn't smart enough. A teacher told me, you're not smart enough. And, do you believe that? When that teacher said that to you, do you feel that that was an absolute truth? And then it gets you thinking, well, actually, at the time when that teacher told me, you're not smart enough, I was very, very young. And actually, she perhaps didn't know an awful lot about what I was capable of. So, you know what, maybe no, I perhaps don't really believe what she was saying was true. The idea is we just want to start challenging some of these beliefs that we are taking as our holy grail. Okay? Just to bring awareness to our belief system. And that awareness piece is really, really important. Because often you might have found this before actually, have you ever had this experience? Because I've done this quite a few times, where you're driving in your car and the next thing you arrive at your destination and you have no recollection of the drive to get there. You were basically just on autopilot. I have this all the time, which is quite worrying. But what this really demonstrates is that our minds are often on autopilot. We're thinking certain things without even being aware that we're thinking of these things. We're just kind of going through the motions. And so if we think about this, if we are just on autopilot with our negative beliefs, we are constantly feeding our brains this sort of negative narrative, which is then being reflected in our reality. And so what we're doing with this exercise is first and foremost bringing awareness, conscious awareness to what we are actually thinking, okay? Because sometimes that awareness itself can really be a wake-up call. Wow, I am telling myself a lot of negative things on a day-to-day basis. Wow, I believe a whole lot of negative things about myself that don't actually align with my vision. And actually, you know what? When I start to question these beliefs, I don't actually believe this. This is just a story I'm telling myself, but I don't truly believe this. If I'm completely honest with myself, if I start to, question this belief, I really don't believe it at all. Okay? And so that knowledge and awareness, that in itself brings power, because we can only change something if we have that awareness, of that thing. Okay? And then starting to question and challenge those beliefs, we can start to really kind of, not take our beliefs so seriously, not hold them up as this ultimate truth for our life. okay? And that's the kind of the first part of changing beliefs. It's just to, question them, make you realize that they're not so set in stone as what you once originally thought. And then gradually we can erode the belief completely. We can completely remove it from our belief system and replace our belief system with something more positive and empowering that does reflect the reality we want to create for ourselves in 2023. Okay, so go and give this exercise a go, ladies. Remember, it's about jotting down, brain dumping all of those conscious beliefs and then going through and challenging each one, questioning each belief. Do I really believe this? Am I choosing to believe this? Why don't I believe this? If I do believe this, why do I believe this? So, questioning those beliefs. Okay, so if you have any questions about this exercise, please feel free to hit me up on Instagram, Danny_Watson_coaching, and I'd love to give you some guidance if you get a little bit stuck with this exercise. And I will catch you on the next episode when we're going to be digging into belief work a little bit more and taking this to another level. Okay, so that's for next week, the next episode coming up. So enjoy this exercise, ladies, and I will catch you in the next episode. Have a wonderful week. Lots of love. If you are wanting to build your own successful online coaching business, make sure to check out Freedom, Abundance and Impact, our free 10-day business and mindset course for coaches and aspiring coaches. To access, simply head to wearetheclique.com and click free course in the menu.